Good morning, everyone. Join the webinar. In this occasion, I would like to welcome our resource person, Mr. G. Somasundram, for being with us in his busy schedule. It's my privilege to welcome all the participants. Before starting the session, let me introduce the resource person of today's program, Mr. G. Somasundram, sir. Mr. G. Somasundram completed his bachelor's and master's in business management and has a vast knowledge in the field of textile and fashion. After completion of his studies, he contributed his support in many areas as Export Executive in Media Enterprises Private Limited, Chennai, Export Merchandiser Service for major garment manufacturers, General Manager Business Development ERP in Reach Swan Technologies and Consulting Private Limited, Regional Head Skill Development and Industry Linkages IL and FS Cluster, New Delhi, Ministry of Rural Development, Project SEAM for Garment Industry Pan India, Regional Head Skill Project and Head Industry Linkages Everett Skill Development Limited, Chennai, Fashion and Retail Marketing Project Consultant, Pearl Academy of Fashion, Chennai, Senior Manager of L&D HR, Gokuldas Exports Limited, Senior Manager of HR in Page Industries, Joki, Regional Head FL, ILFS Cluster Skill Development in Initiative Limited, Bangalore, and in meanwhile, he guided many young generations by serving as assistant professors and headed departments in various reputed colleges. Currently, he extended his support for many organizations like for 5P Ventures Private Limited as Sustainable Practice Head, in Find Some Modeling Incorporated USA as an advisor, Cluster Implementations Agency of MSME Ministry Government of India as Software Intervention Advisor. With these short points, once again, I welcome you, Mr. Somasundram sir, to share your thoughts among ourselves. Now, I am hand over the section to you, sir.
Good morning, everyone, and I thank Dr. Mahalakshmi for having invited me for this session to deliver across. And thanks, Ms. Deepika, for your nice introduction. Now I'm going to present this topic here now. One second. I share the slide now. Hope my slide is visible to everyone. Can anyone tell?
Yes, sir. Is it visible, sir?
Visible. Can I start now? A warm welcome to all dignitaries, college administration principals, professors,
yes, sir.
HODs.
Is it visible, sir?
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you. And my dear faculty members of this college as well as other colleges, and students, friends from AJK College of Arts and Science, Coimbatore, and also from other colleges. I'm very happy and also feeling honored for having invited me for this national seminar on fashion now and future, this session. It is basically information sharing and also the current trend, what is happening and how we are preparing ourselves, and also how we are going to gear up for the future requirements of the fashion market, because fashion is always very dynamic. Maybe the phase of dynamisms changes. It may not be in the same degree of accelerations what we have seen earlier, but it is moving fast in different directions and also different methods. The momentum is gained through the other means of channels, or rather I can say other marketing techniques that's called digital marketing. And we are going to have some idea, what is the demand in the global level and also national marketing, and how industries are preparing. I'm going to showcase a couple of companies' case studies here, and also know how are going to meet these changes. That's the idea of this session. As all of us know very well, this industry structure is largely divided into domestic and export. And for career building or entrepreneurship for any purpose or even for academic interest, this is how we classify the industry. And within domestic, we have retail and brand companies, and of course the retail structures supporting these two, retail and brands. And exports, largely global brands, internationally reputed brands, and also they buy a bulk from manufacturers or vendors. That's called B2B marketing. And also online, like Amazon now is a global, omnipresent everywhere, and every place we can get access. Of course, there are portals, national specific, regional specifics operating, of course, but still we have online, the channel or media which is helping for exporting our products. Current status of the industry during pandemic. I pray and also wish everyone to join my prayer to, get this pandemic rid of our life. We be in the safe hands of the God, and everyone's health and hygienic is very very important. Personal care is very important. We should maintain the safety measures, but at the same time, we'll have to operate on some spaces, maybe on webinar or online meetings and sessions like this, and still we get going with our life. We can't totally avoid functioning, but even within the limitations of the functioning, we should be very safe and careful about it. And I just share the details now. India's market, domestic market, especially textile and apparel. In financial year 1920, we officially clocked $106 billion of both domestic textile and apparel, both the textile and apparel, including your yarn, fabric, and the home textiles, garments, everything, including the technical textiles. But year 2021, as all of us aware, it's down by 30%. So it is somewhere around 75% $75 billion market still operating, and largely helped by medical textiles, healthcare textiles. Reviving of this market is purely because of the technical textile heading, but it is purely medical and personal care. Textile played a major role in the first 4 months of the lockdown, starting 2020 April, ending July. Indian market clocked 3700 crores, that is 37 crore only by PPE markets, personal protection equipments markets. That is health textiles largely played a major role. And of course, home textile is equally did a very well performance during this pandemic. And financial year April 20 to March 21, the estimated home textiles and the combined apparel market did nearly about 55% of the total market. And the pace of recovery is also skewed towards certain products and not in favor of certain products. It is in favor of kids wear, casual wear, innerwear, and loungewear. Obviously, we know indoor dressing is a new category emerged. Indoor dressing. It is not a casual. It is somewhere between your casual and loungewear category, and also sometimes we should be formal for this webinar kind of thing. When we have video conferences, of course, kind of people in the consultancy and advisory media, we are very much into formal when it comes to video conferencing. Obviously, we have to network with companies, industries, and ministries and departments, and a lot of organizations, CSR organizations. Obviously, we'll have to, but mainly, the most well-performing categories are kids wear, because of the sizes changes within every 6 months. The kids get changed the sizes. So kids wear consumption is obviously a very high. Casual wear, of course, wear and tear in indoor dressing is very high. So naturally, and also psychologically, obsolescence operate in our mind. Every month we cannot wear the same kind of thing, and of course there are in between anniversaries, birthdays, and the other celebration comes. Even though we don't go out to do all this partying and celebrations, but still, even when we confine within the home, within four walls, we need to have some replenishment in our dressing pattern. So obviously, there are changes in the wardrobe, and casual wear occupies most important place in the wardrobe. And innerwear, of course, obviously for personal care purpose and lounge wear. Indian Textile Federation, headquartered in Coimbatore, of course, and South India dominated the federation body, and they have done a survey with the help of Technopack and the KPMG organizations, and they came out with a study. What was last year, and that is 2020, and what will be ahead for us 2021. And they have seen some progress in Indian textile apparel sector. Of course, it is actually a year-on-year basis survey, and it is only a very short-term strategy. We can't draw a lot of conclusion on this, but still, for this particular year, what is the focus of the industry? Industry is, informed, instructed to focus USA market because that's a only consuming market as of now. Europe is totally down, and of course, Nordic countries are coming out with some consumption, some exports orders are flowing across to Tirupur and Bangalore. But whereas USA and Australia is still cutting a lot of ice in the market. But comparing USA, Australia is not very high volume, but more varieties being consumed in Australia, especially cotton summer wear is predominantly occupying this demand from Australia. Focus on value addition with the new capex. That's a very important thing. How you add value to your garment, functional garments. Uniforms are out now. Workwears are out because many factories are closed, and even if they work, actually only 50% occupancies are there. And IT companies operate out of home now, and barring some maintenance and the electrical and the software admin teams, rest of the people are working. The projects team and operation teams are working from home. So the value addition should be in the name of convenience, and also functional purpose of the dresses are very important, for which the new capex are created, and of course the medical textiles and your personal protection equipments also needing some capex. Like earlier we used to do non-woven polyethylene fabrics for personal protection equipments, but now we are also coming out with some woven and knitwear products also for rewashable, because a lot of antiviral, antibacterial finishes are given to the dresses. Thereby the medical experts started using woven, which is very convenient and washable and also cleanable, rather than just throw away these PPE products made out of polyethylene or polypropylene. Focus on product diversification and innovation is also assuming a lot of attention, and adoption of techniques, and digitalization is the main focus area of many companies, and either they have to have their own website or join the ERP platform of the buyers, or they should be having product lifecycle management software in order to cater to new market or new buyer or individual customers. And of course, many companies started coming out with the own apps for regional and domestic marketing. And focus on agility is very important, because God knows what is going to be in the next month or next month or something like that. So agility is one thing that will make us keep alerting and also adapting to the new changes happening. And focus on the financial discipline. That's very, very important. Especially short-term financial accounting, financial management, inventory management, and your payables and receivables. Financial discipline is more important. Of course, it is important for every individual as well. Now the eye is on discretionary income and also disposable income. Kind of attention we are drawing now. In fact, how much we can save. And all those things are now becoming, the financial prudence is very, very important nowadays, and that's what the main advisory to sector by Indian Textile Federation. Last year, we have seen trend, downtrending and the export as well as import both. Actually, it is down by nearly about 16% in no, the percentage share itself as far as the export is concerned. It came down to 22.9, that is 23% out of 39. Whereas in import, in fact, essentials are being imported, especially trims, accessories, and non-woven materials, and still fabrics for re-exporting of garments. So we depend on some Indonesia, Taiwan, and South Korea, and of course China for importing. So, but that level is maintained. Not a very big difference happened in import. And the main occupation of your market is by yarn fabric on home textiles, nearly 40%, of course 41%, and the garments 43.7%. And in yarn and fabric, home textiles also included. So both together, 84% of the market is dominated by these two categories. Of course, jute, carpets, and fiber. You look at these categories, carpets and jutes are long-lasting or no classical products. So immediate replenishment or no rush for the buying may not be there. So it is clearly indicating that the consumer spending is also very clear and smart, and they want to buy only the essentials and the needy one. The pace of recovery during the pandemic is, there are two areas. One is high recovery, apparel, home textiles, footwear, and of course, consumer durables are, staying in the race still, but not, very mad rush about this. Initially, months of this lockdown, April, May, June, has seen high rush for, buying laptops or, your smartphones and tablets because of the requirement for the students, especially the kids for their learning online. But September onwards, since September 2020, that market becomes saturated or stabilized, and very low demand for two-wheelers and cars, especially for new cars and two-wheelers. Within that category, within the apparel category, high demand is registered for casual, ethnic wear, kids wear, lounge wear, and inner wear. And jeans, of course, being a classical products, and also generally people buy jeans, a pair of jeans, one or two only in a year. So there is no mad rush for that. But a formal wear and a party evening occasion wear obviously taken a beat. That categories are not doing very well. And every month, sales, month on month, year, sale figures indicating, especially in the Retail Association of India reports, casual wear dominates, very high end, especially knitwear market. Of course, the factories are still working in full way. Looking markets opportunity in Africa and some countries in Middle East, and Dubai 2020 now extended up to March 21 is also giving some boost for exports. And McKinsey reported in the last year, December 2019 to October 2020, where only the complete integrated mills, integrated players, are super winners. Not very high. Only 1/10 of the industry is really doing very well. And many companies adopted to digital marketing and the digital way forward of doing the things. And because of Europe and USA hit by Corona, COVID, Asia Pacific is a region where especially Australia, New Zealand, and some of African countries are in focus for marketing. And of course, casual market, casual products are the king in the market, and of course, sportswear, healthwear, and also activewear are getting a lot of importance. Especially fitness products are getting a lot of importance. And the sectors, fashion-specific sectors, if you look at it, healthcare, medical textiles, essential textiles, indoor dresses, sustainable fashion, and e-commerce and mobile shopping, internet and social media are the fashion-specific sectors really did something remarkable. and revisiting of skills are required to meet the emerging opportunities, because the traditional skill sets may not be, because many of the items are new. I mean, the fashion and medical textiles. Look at this way. We learned we are very capable, we are very skill abled or enabled people, and we are very, very fashion specific. Now, the medical textile properties should be added. The types of medical textiles, properties, quality requirement, and how the market buying parameters, everything should be understood. That gives the not only academic interest, but also for the job category people or entrepreneurs, will get new idea about this. And the essential textiles and indoor dresses are revisited now, and because of the very high competition in this category, it is not fast selling alone, it is not more demanded, but also the competition means the price war. Again, you'll have to have control on cost of production and marketing expenses, and how you adapt to these challenging situations. Products are in demand, but at the same time you should be very competitive in the market. And the indoor dresses, again, redefined, and the designing needs a lot of functional aspects. I've seen, one, the very recent time, it's a knitwear casual tops, with, pallos kind of, bottom, but with, packets on both side of your waist area, where, the person in the kitchen, men or women, never matter, whoever wears that, can have the spoons and, other things on the, packets. It's a very long packets on your waist side and the front side of the products. Now, the indoor dresses has got, the new design parameters as well. And of course, sustainable fashion is very important with respect to your home textiles, and also your bedroom accessories, kitchenware, and your bathroom accessories and all. Sustainable, the word and eco-friendliness are gaining a lot of importance. And of course, the channels are e-commerce. So fashion products through e-commerce, mobile shopping. So we'll have to adapt to some skills, learn some skills on these two areas, and of course social media and internet for promotion of your products. So these are the challenges. At the same time, it is giving a lot of opportunity. So BSc fashion with e-commerce background, e-commerce idea, I mean, how you can upload, or you become a vendor, or you can help somebody as a vendor, registering a vendor, how you can upload your images, how you can promote, how you catch up with Google AdWords, and how you populate your advertisements or promotional collaterals through WhatsApp or any other social media, like in LinkedIn or Twitter, or very popular your social media campaigns can be done. So Instagram kind of campaigns are nowadays, Facebook advertisements are gaining. So fashion and this combination will work out very better, and people need not, because those people without fashion idea going there for marketing need a lot of education on the product understanding. They may not know no larger, the broad idea they may have, knitwear or woven kind of thing, but inside that category they may not be knowing what is the detailing of the designs or styles or the accessories or trims kind of thing. So there we get a lot of advantage in the market, employment market. We get a lot of advantage. Mintra or Amazon or your Flipkart, kind of people look at fashion students with this IT background or IT skills, get a lot of attention and demand. So our industry post-COVID lockdown have very minimal objectives, but they are very strong. We'll have to consolidate our core categories, that is basics. So not very high-end fashions or party wear or occasion dress or something like that. It is basic categories, not very creative categories. Product diversification within woven or within knit, we'll have to be diversifying, offering many products, small quantities but more varieties. And the export market diversification also is giving a promising future, and business consolidation with the existing buyers are very important. And we should be very confident and also make the buyer confident that we are a very, very strong partner with them, collaborating for entire supply chain management with them. That's a kind of idea we'll have to give, because as being a manufacturer or a designer or quality person sitting in the supply side should assure that the last mile customer will get a right products or needy products, because nowadays spending is very wise. So the careful spending by the customer, they decide buying anything after thinking 4 or 5 times. But when they decide to buy, then the product should be very meaningful. The changing demand drivers now. Earlier, it was the focus was price and taste or appeal of the products and convenience factor, like convenience to buy, convenience to shop, or access to shopping, something like that. But today, it is price, of course, the factor, and also we try to have more home delivery kind of concepts. Even food nowadays getting attention in the home delivery way. And sustainability, of course, how durable it is, how long it will, and how it is very eco-friendly, and safety while using it home, and the health and hygienic factors are playing a major role deciding to buy anything and everything. And coming to customer market, earlier what we have seen so far is the industry side, the apparel sector and business sectors are categories. Now we will see what customer want. Let us have a glance of customer of today, India. We are 1.3 billion. It's a very strong consuming market. And of course, every year we are getting 7 million graduates of every nature, diploma graduates 3 years and graduates 4 years, altogether 7 million, 70 lakhs people. So that means that educated people are coming into consuming market. That's a very, very important. And the literate people always have different thinking and approach to buying. And 57% of population prefer online shopping. It was a very drastic improvement over 2018 or 19. Earlier it was somewhere around 30% people prefer online, 70% physical marketing. They believe in visit to malls or shopping centers or to departmental stores or supermarket. Even at the least, neighborhood, your retail shop is the objective. But today, even if it is available across 2 streets, still we prefer to do online, especially for food or any other essentials. So that kind of things are increasing now. But among the online shopping, 54% of buying is decided by women at home or women at workplace or anything. 54% decisions are made by women. So they are more important target customers nowadays. Your product designing, your product focus, your product deliveries, your product functions, and your product ideation should be evolving around women customers, because they are very intelligent, very informative. They compare, they have a lot of peer level. Next door neighborhood consultation will be there. They always consult opposite home and neighbor homes before deciding anything. So we should be very careful. It is not simple online clicking button to buy. It is much more than that, because you always have a woman to say, whether to buy or not. And 50% of online shoppers, generally, whoever buy online, they prefer nearly 60%, 2/3 of buyers are liking Indian brands, especially the Ayurvedic concepts or your natural products or organic products are gaining a lot of things. Recently I visited a friend home in Bangalore. They bought a lot of jaggeries, natural jaggeries, and machine dried, hands-free jaggery, machine dried, solar dried kind of thing. I was asking why. Hitherto, they are, whenever they visit home, till last Pongal, they visit their native, they buy from the home market or nearby Sandais. But today, when they buy, they are very careful. And while doing so, they are thinking and telling that, we are buying not only for the hygienic part, we are also buying because lot of suppliers are maturing enough. Lots of suppliers are graduating themselves to make the products are safe and hygienic. So they, in appreciation of the supply side, the buyers also interested, and cost wise it is one and the same. When they go home, of course, when they may hometowns they buy little cheaper, but when it comes to home delivery, bringing the product, the consumption without any damage, and very safe, and organic tags and other things are there, then they prefer Indian brands, and Indian brands always have lot of tags on this, your organic and natural. And 65% of our country is youth, that is young generation, that is two-thirds of our populations are very yearning and energetic combination, and 40% of population prefers decisive buying. That means they think twice or thrice before buying, and 35% millennials are our future market. So India alone, 35% of our 1.3 billion people is going to constitute a very big market in future. They are ready for employment or entrepreneurship. They are going to earn money, and that earned money will be spent. At least 70% of the earned money will be spent, and that is how the domestic market is still giving confidence to all of us. The changing lifestyle, what we have seen so far, many of us stay home or work from home career options we adopted. Minimalisms in lifestyles, we don't see a lot of varieties or extravagances spending on that. And most of us are health and fitness conscious, and we prefer home cooked foods instead of less eating. And off late, since January, I've seen a lot of takeaways and Swiggy and Zomato playing a role. But still, home cooked foods are taking the larger space of our life. Leisure and casual wear, excepting for video conferencing. More use of internet, mails, and social media post messaging. One industry what I have seen is online education is going very, very big way. The booming online education, apart from your standalone or brick and mortar colleges and institutions, R&D institutions, training institutions, what we have, it is a high penetration market now. It is by the digital education, and without any concrete or brick or mortar, they still with the click and button facing it. Now they are entering the market in a very big way with a lot of certifications, and that is one way. It's an opportunity as well as it is also a threat for all of us. But that is possible because of the high concentrated connectivity of internet everywhere, and the broadband connectivity every villages is made this possible. And no outdoor selfies nowadays, no outing, no excursions, or no industrial visits, IV from college side, or family touring is avoided. Even many people are youngsters, especially reluctant to go to native side marriages or parties or anything. Most of time they post on homemade foods and what they did in the kitchen. Quality time is spent with the family, and watching TV, especially IPL, is now in row. But even otherwise, also watching TV is a major pastime activity, and indoor games, of course. No outing excepting for essential is the new normal definition of a life. So, for global textile and apparel landscape, what exactly the customer trends is hygienic, health, safety, and online presence is very important. So, whatever brand you are, unless until you are offered, you are in the omni-channel, then it is very difficult to take it forward. Cutting down on discretionary expenditures, and also people are very careful about spending. And again, online delivery supply chain management is also needing a lot of infrastructure to be developed. And of course, India has got one good conditions, that is India Post. India Post is present in every villages. Whatever product you make and it is sold out to any corner of the country can be delivered to India Post. It is not necessarily that you should depend on only your own self-built supply chain system, or you depend on DTDC or professional courier, something like that. Even India Post is doing, and that particular organization, India Post, registered 3 times high revenue in the last 1 year. People stopped writing letters, sending money orders, because everything now digital. But messages are now, instead of letters, inland letter or outland letter, foreign letters, everything gone. But the cargo courier management of India Post has done a very, very remarkable performance. 3 times revenue increase. See, look at this kind of infrastructure available, makes use of that. That's how now we'll have to look at that industry. Retail trend is now obviously playing in favor of e-commerce, and direct to customer brands are very attention. Many knitwear products, and the last 1 year we have seen more than 200 plus e-commerce came out of Tirupur alone, and people are shifting from fast fashion to slow fashion. Fast fashion predominantly by your synthetic and your polymer group of fibers, but the slow fashion is moving towards sustainable products or your natural products. And the sourcing trend also is playing in favor of India kind of countries. Many brands are shifting their sourcing. They actually stopped buying in bulk because many retail chain stores are shut down in US and the UK or in Europe, major part of Europe. So instead of physical stores, they want to sell everything online or virtual stores. For that, they need minimum quantities, not very big, a large buying. So when prefer to move from large buying to small buying, small quantity buying, obviously India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, kind of countries are the options than China. So that is one indicator promising for India, and the bias to aid development of new bases such as Ethiopia, Kenya kind of thing in South Africa or African countries, of course, Middle Africa countries, Central Africa countries also. But even there, the countries are Ethiopia or Kenya, but the operators are Indians. Mainly Indians are going. Of course, China factories are there. Atraco or Arvind or Aditya Birla groups have a lot of presence. Raymonds have presence in Ethiopia, and even Bangalore-based companies are in Ethiopia operating very well. And even from Tirupur, Best Corporation has got a factory in Ethiopia. Of course, Brandix and the MAS Sporting from Sri Lanka are competing with us in Ethiopia. But that is giving additional manufacturing space for us and nearest to Europe market. And the product to be focused is antimicrobial finishes, be it your socks or your daily wears or your inner wears or whatever it is. Antimicrobial finishes are very important. And also people look at it, disposable but circular products, when it comes to, fast consuming products. So the changing pattern direct towards your healthy diets, and food and healthy diets are priority. So it gives you indication how people spend. People spend on food, healthy diets, hygienic utilities, essential medicines, then internet and home entertainment in order to occupy ourselves official as well as work functional way. Casual and fitness wear, tracksuit, t-shirts and shorts, bermudas kind of thing. Recycle of home articles and clothing. There is no teaching required on this particular thing because for Indian home, our home kind of situation where recycle of home articles is always redesigned, recycled and reused. So this one area where the spending is not there, but of course in urban places where they don't have the old clothes or old towels or old bedsheets to recycle is to be found. So there is a new market emerged in some cities like Delhi, Bombay and Bangalore, where recycling of home articles also being done. Less use of vehicle, and people prefer to walk more for health as well as for nearby neighborhood shopping purpose. So food, medicine, clothing, indoor clothing especially, online shopping, online education, social media, entertainment, medical textiles, sustainable textiles, logistics, transports. Out of this 10 category, look at this indoor clothing and social media, medical textiles, sustainable textiles, online education are part of our life. We are actually, especially this audience, or the BSc fashion or any other fashion, costume design educations, we are very much connected with this space. So we are very much concerned, the changes happening and the business opportunities. So we should adopt or we should learn certain things to meet this expectation of this industry, especially social media, internet and online educations giving lot of scope for our our career forward. So trend of apparel consumption in India, you know very well that menswear occupies 42%, 41.7%, women's wear 35.5%, and kids wear 20%. But as menswear is going to shrink in future, next 3 years or 4 years, because when they use formal wear and very less formal wear and only indoor dressings, menswear don't prefer to shop more, and women's wear also going to be stagnated or saturated kind of thing. They are also not shrinking, not expanding. So what will happen? Only kids wear will grow. So kids wear will grow in the next level. But the women's wear, especially Western wear and inner wear, will go up in the consumption. Traditional wear will be in the same level of buying. So if you look at it, this market comparisons between 2018 and 23, there is always, there is an improvement in overall market size in domestic. Definitely there is a growth pattern, but the category wise, if you look at it, women's wear becomes stagnated. It is 35%. In 2018, 2023 also 35% only. Marginally only 35.5% is registered in 2023. Whereas menswear, it is actually 37%. It is 1.5% is reduced. The gaining is in favor of kids wear. So kids wear, because of their the body growth and measurement changes, obviously kids wear needs faster replenishment. Otherwise, market is going to be in the same level. So the obvious learning is kids wear will dominate the market, both online and the physical markets. And due to these changes in the global scenario, environment, the major concern, and traveling is cut down, and the corona crisis, and add to that a lot of other problems also there. Large scale urbanization, industrial economy, and problem in solid waste disposal, rise of polyester usages in the name of fast fashion, and the rise of use of fast fashion itself are the concerns. They are the global issues compounded by this corona. So all these factors are now, clearly dividing the rural and urban, and in this actually looking at markets are now focusing more towards rural, and the rural marketings are having money and also spending. And what is the reality in the urban and the rural marketing? Of course, the family size from your left hand side top to right hand side corner, if you come down, it has become small family. Family size is reducing. Excuse me. But economic generation is very high in urban because of the opportunities in the digital IT space. Working opportunities are there. Of course, the fashion and marketing retails are happening in urban. So for our domains, fashion and the marketing retail plus e-commerce and IT infrastructures, urban are giving the income generation, and obviously the spending will be very happy. And look at this, people are shifting to limited consumption, from limited consumption to mass consumption, and they are, exploiting the resources. And when you are limiting your consumption, you always conserve water to air to everything. But whereas when it goes to mass consumption, you are exploiting. But it is the way by which, in fact, it is giving the new direction and also new, growth area for our textiles, especially for the technical textiles. So the land filling is the major cause. To avoid this, people are now coming out with disposable but biodegradable products. Likewise, if you look at this, to remove all the evils and perils of the nature, they want to have some solution that's called the eco fashion or sustainable fashion. There is a demand for green and sustainable fashion. So it is already the economic problem, social problems, environmental problem, plus the medical problem or health problem, all jointly together poised towards pushing us towards, moving for preferring for green and sustainable fashion. So sustainable fashion is or like very very regional, locally made, and insisting for high quality and timeless design. And there is a scope for redesigning and recycling, and also offering for second hand usages. And it should be environmental friendly, clean and green manufacturing practices should be there, and fair trade and ethical. And this is what going to make our market dominating in the next few years. So already there is a park where I was associating IL&FS. We created the entire park is a green park or a sustainable park. It is not now. Maybe the four thinkers of the projects made the entire thing is totally eco-friendly and sustainable park. It was launched in 2010, almost 11 years ago. But at that time itself, we created it. Everything is natural and also sustainable manufacturing, processing, dyeing, weaving to product offering. Everything was sustainable one, eco-friendly one. And the future fibers are now emerging because when we want to replace the polymer groups and regenerated cellulosic fibers, or maybe replacement of your synthetic fibers, you need to go for a lot of other natural fiber options. Move from cotton to other coconut coir or banana or pineapple or any other plant fiber, vegetable bast fibers are the solutions. And we have a lot of opportunities are there. In eco-textiles, we have cotton, wool, silk, plant fibers, and that apart we have regenerated viscose, cellulose, pineapple, bamboo, corn, soya, and recycled cotton polyester for another options to use, and naturally colored cotton or naturally grown plant fibers are coming into the fore for our manufacturing options. There are companies, there are retailers, global brands. This one is from Norway, Nordic country. Sustainable Gate is the name, and they are present in Western Europe part. They are very conscious. They are very conscious in the product offering, be it indoor or outdoor products or home textiles or even your dresses. Everywhere they are insisting on the sustainability. And there is another company or a retail chain called Ten Tree, and what they insist for every buying of a products, they plant 10 trees. So it is a concern for growing trees, and they want to achieve 1 billion trees to be planted before 2030. So that much environmental concern they have, and because of this care and environmental friendliness and also sustainability focus, people prefer to go to their Ten Tree shopping, because they are looking at the market offering on three ways. One is sustainable essentials, and also want to reduce the carbon footprints, and they want to plant 10 trees for every goods purchased or produced, and they want to practice fair and safe and ethical manufacturing practices. And sustainable supply chain is the way forward for fashion industry in the post-COVID-19 situation. So it was declared in May 2020 itself. It's not now. So people now understand every market product designing, everything is surrounding or revolving around this sustainability factors. So there is a case of Tirupur, how the sustainability production can happen. It is a study by one of the Nordic Nordic country initiatives, where they focus, because they largely it is a enabled organization, and also they are looking at more organic, natural and eco-friendly products, and they want to have clean label certifications for the products which are all minimizing the carbon footprints and also practicing sustainability in their production methods. Look at this, travel of a t-shirt in Tirupur cluster. The cotton is cultivated and grown in Anandapur, Andhra Pradesh, and coming to Vedasandur near Dindigul for yarn spinning, traveling near around 590 kilometers. And go to Pallada for fabric knitting, another 113 kilometers. From there it goes to Perundurai, Sipcot for fabric dyeing, where ETP is there. So from Perundurai it is taken to New Tirupur or Nathaj Apparel Park in Avinasi for print and embroidery and also garment construction. So from there it is going to garment unit for cutting and sewing and packing in Tirupur, another 15 kilometers, and later packed and shipped from Tuticorin, traveling another 330 kilometers. So a t-shirt travels nearly around 1150 kilometers. So 1150 kilometers is taking a t-shirt from Tirupur to, reach the export point. That is the destination of export port. From cotton to your cargo, it is 1150. But look at the case of KPR mill. So what they practice, there is no choice. They allow to get it from Adani or Anandapur or nearby locations in AP, only the cotton. Of course, Bellary, whatever is the belt, it is same distance, 610 kilometers they take, and it goes to KPR Arsur factory for spinning, and 0 kilometer because within the campus, it is an integrated plant where they do the knitting. Another dyeing unit is there in the same complex. There is no traveling across, and it goes to print and embroidery in the quantum unit 3, that is KPR owned unit in Tekkalur. From Arsur it goes to 25 kilometers down near Tirupur or Avinasi. From there it is actually converted into garment and finally exported in Tuticorin. So in the process what they do, they save 165 kilometers for every garment. So the total traveling is only 985 instead of 1150. You look at it, the traveling is reduced to 165 kilometers, but multiplied by n number of goods exported. So if they, export 1 million garment a year, obviously it is 5 times or 10 times more. 5 millions or 10 millions, they export. But even for 1 million, rough calculation, 1 million garments, they save 1 million into 165 kilometers. That much carbon footprints are reduced. That means carbon emissions, CO2 is reduced. That is the concern of the supply chain. So for which eco labels from Nordic countries are issued. So this is how people are looking at even the changes in your production systems or your logistics or supply chain, internal, external, will lead to gaining eco labels or sustainable labels. All of us, many of us know very well Tuka Tech CAD for fashion designing, Tuka Tech for pattern and all. Ram Serin Sarji is a CEO, founder and NRI, and he lives in USA but widely travels. Of course, last 1 year he is not in India, but of course, but what he made, he made a very nice article. He articulated very well on this, a very, very realistic thing. Whatever the samples we prepare, exporters or domestic people, only 3% is approved by the buyer. If you produce 100 samples, only 3%, you see the success rate of designing. My dear friends, you should be very careful when you are doing your sampling. See, it is not your own thinking or your interest or your aspiration. It is very much clearly telling that what the customer wants. So the buyers are very specific that they equate everything to buyer demand. Accordingly, they select the samples for the bulk production. So for selection, they take only 3% of the total samples submitted. So this is a reality. And vendors make 38 samples for each approved order. That means, suppose they get 2 orders, that means 78 to nearly 80 samples they have to prepare to get to 2 orders done. Even though retailers are using 3D design sample system also, our people still do only the physical samples. But there is a change way forward. There is a solution for this problem, which I will address in the end of the presentation. Cost of samples are very huge, but when it compared to order quantity, now the quantity is reducing. Earlier, we used to get one full container. That means 30,000 pieces a container order. But now we are getting only 20,000 or less than 20,000 or 50,000. But the sample cost remains same for 30,000 pieces or even 20,000 pieces or 10,000. So, but you get only 10,000 quantity, then what will happen? So, cost of samples is very high compared to the cost, the order quantity is 30,000. So, that is where the cost of sample goes up by 75%. But there is a solution using software driven systems or artificial intelligence and 3D sampling, 3D modeling, which I am going to showcase in the end of the presentation. Indian companies are started doing, of course, Tukatek is doing, and many other players are there. But now they are really, concerned about the cost of the samples and reducing the samples, and they are shifting to digital sampling. And I just take a couple of cases of sustainable factory. There are 5P where I am associating, and I am also advisor to their sustainable practices. The purpose and the principles behind these companies are protect the artisans and weavers, preserve their artisan skills, promote handloom and traditional heritage textiles, bring prosperity to the weavers and the weaving community, and the posterity of the weaving tradition of Chennimalai. That's a focus of this company. And they are changing from conventional way to convenience and the customer focused. That is very important. So how you make customer feel convenient to buy your product, and also what customer want. So it is a customer focused or customer driven product manufacturing. The concepts of sustainability operate here. We use actually reuse or recycle of water in order to conserve the resources. Solar generated electricity. There is no your Tamil Nadu EB current electricity is connected to the factory. Raw materials to finished goods everywhere. We try to minimize the kilometer traveling and less emission of CO2. Thereby we achieve. And the statutory welfare measures for the workforce to ensure sustainable livelihood. It is not the increase in the earning, but how meaningfully they spend, also how much they can save, and how directly or indirectly the thrift system will operate. That is also very important. That is where the statutory measures are very helpful. So the group insurance and provident fund, ESI systems, the small savings by small contribution by the employee, but larger benefits to them as well as for their family. So that is ensured, giving the sustainable livelihood, and the use of natural organic dyes to avoid pollutions, chemical-free fabric finishes, be it antibacterial or any other finishes we apply on the thing, they are chemical-free, and the segregation of hard waste and recycling. Therefore, we are achieving the concept of sustainability in this particular factory. Advantages is, while practicing this, we will get the certifications from this internationally reputed organization. Thereby, our buyers are recognizing us and also giving due credit to the way of working. And first and foremost certification is Fair Labor Association. It is giving freedom of association of the workforce working there, and we are giving lot of training and awareness program for them, and formation of procedure of work association and trade union, and meeting minutes of worker participatory committee is also registered, and if there is any complaint or suggestion, that is also registered, and there is a group meeting, employer-employee meeting will happen to reduce or remove the grievances. So this is a concepts we adopt that leads to getting a fair trade association and also WRP certifications. Especially for jockey manufacturing, if you are contract manufacturer or job worker for jockey, this WRP is essential. And there is more than 25 units in Karur grouped together under K Ventures Private Limited, and they are the major supplier of outsourced product to jockey, and they insist for this WRP certifications, where no they talk about compliances with the law of the land and the regulation practices and the provision of forced labor, child labor, and no harassment in the workplace, and equal pay opportunity, diversity in the workplace, compensation and benefits are assured, payment of wages, payment of bonus, payment of minimum payment of wages, everything is assured, and limited work hours, no OT, and if it is OT, then there is a OT payment, prohibition of discrimination of the genders, health and safety, freedom of association, custom compliance and security for the workforce also. And there is another certification, it's called OKTEX. It is giving the certification for the safety of the trims and accessory used in the garments or fashion products. And they should be harmless and also easy to maintain, and also not made of anything that is objectionable. So OKTEX benefits giving the standard 100 label, and that gives the access to Europe market straight away. Of course, nowadays the USA market people are also. So when you want to move after this COVID-19, you want to start anything or start trading or getting export order, or you want to do your e-commerce, OKTEX will get benefit because there are already 14,000 companies in the network of the certification. They are not everybody, everybody is a garment producer. There are fiber producers, there are fabric producers, there are yarn producers, there are retailers, there are wholesalers, there are export market channel partners. So if you being one of the supply chain partner anywhere in this print embroidery, or you do the recycling of your products, or you are giving garment constructions or pattern idea or designing, whatever it is, you can join the network of 14,000 companies. Thereby, because of your OKTEX certification, you are having trade opportunity with these 14,000 companies. So that means you are already having the market to enter into. So this benefits, taking the testing cost to finished products are waived because you are giving assurance. End of the day, it gives assurance to the final customer. There is another label called a Better Cotton Initiative, and now most of US buyers are insisting for BCI, and of course, the pillars of BCI is social, economic, and environmental concept safety, and Better Cotton organization, again, it is also a network of a lot of buyers as well as the retailer. Thereby, if you being a supplier, you will get a lot of market opportunity. And the principles of Better Cotton is talking about harmful impact on the crop protection and agriculture productions, promote water stewardship and water management, care for the health of the soil, and enhance biodiversity and use of land very responsibly, reasonably well, care for and preserve fiber quality, promote decent work, and also operate an effective management system of all the resources. So the BCA certifications help you to gain the market access. Similarly, there is a organic certifications. If your products are having 75% of organic producers, then your products will be certified, and that covers the processing, manufacturing, packaging, labeling, trading, distribution, everywhere. And in the whole process, if your products is GOT certified, then people place order with you directly, and 5P Ventures is a GOT certified one, and of course, we are now moving towards a fair trade certification also. Fair trade, we are already members for fair trade in India, and for US exports, we are going to get the certification very soon. And what gives this, the benefit? What benefit you will get, if your products is fair trade certified? Because, the retailers are assuring the customer that the products are manufactured ethical way, socially, well-maintained way, and also it's a fair trade practices are done. The customers prefer to buy the fair certified products, and it gives a lot of protections with a lot of standards and the norms. by which your product's safety is assured, process safety is assured, and your people safety is also assured, and by which 1,250 responsible business people group together, and they form national retail federations of New York, and from there they insist that the more sourcing from developing countries and the least developed countries should be certified ways. Thereby, every unit is having fair trade certification will get the market access. That is what we want to say. And they are also giving forecast, the trend analysis, and what will sell, what will not sell, and what is the price ranges, and how you can cater to the mass market or the upper market or lower market. Every indications are given. They share all the standards and the forecast and demand. Thereby, you will get the export opportunities also. But they insist of certain things to be maintained. It is part of your sustainability development goals of UNA. But at the same time, they are also, focusing on certain area. It is, poverty elevation with respect to your workforce. You should bring them from your below poverty line to above poverty line. That means minimum wages should be assured, and maintain workplace safety, ensure environmental conservation, especially air, water, and also other earthy resources, and water access, drinkable potable access to your our workforce and also the family, food safety, no use of child in the workplaces, and the women empowerment diversity should be a focus, and the education and training should be part of your work program. There is a company called Anandi Enterprises, totally sustainable product company. Not only the 5P, but also this is another company within our locations. You can see they use reusable organic moss, and they use the recycling concepts, and they come out with farm recycled natural fibers and sustainable products, and they are also having Govt certifications and recycled standards maintenance. Thereby, their products are very safe, and they are also certified by BCI. You see, one company is having these eco labels, eco-friendly labels, Govts and Ecotex and BCI, all are giving market access. So they are now growing phenomenally, and also that is meeting the demand of the market. When the customers are shifting towards, a certain, the parameters of buying, then obviously you'll have to gear up, and that's what they are meeting. So Anand offers authentic organic cotton and natural products and diverse natural fibers they use, and of course they are using recycled PET bottles from Aditya Birla, Reliance, and they are making products and exporting to Levi's. So this is one company is doing totally sustainable way, eco-friendly way. And Bal Vigna is another company from Dindigul area. They are offering n number of sustainable fiber as well as yarn for your fabric. Of course, they are having home textile division also. So they are giving hotel linen, hospital linen, bags, and common utilities, and the hospital utilities. And they have so many certifications: Birla Modal certifications, Supima Cotton, Coolmax, Ocatex, BCI, Fair Trade certifications. So these many certifications are giving competitive edge for Balavigna. They are most preferred supplier compared to non-certified partners. So they have a huge factory of weaving, spinning, integrated textile mill where they do garmenting as well as home textiles, and it is near Dindigul. So they offer a lot of safety products, and that is what the buyers want. And they are majorly focusing on hospitality sector and hospital sector, medical textiles, and they are having a very good growth year on year basis. And they are also coming out into natural product divisions like bamboo, banana, olive oil, and hemp fibers and all those things. They have bamboo as soya bean and antimicrobial fabric and whatnot. And another industry which is doing very well is hospitality industry. And many a time you see the regulation comes with reference to lockdown. you can open a restaurant, but you cannot serve food, but it should be takeaway. But the takeaway, the container takeaway process, logistics, supply chain should be eco-friendly, and that is where the importance of the eco-friendly hospitality products divisions are coming. And of course, they come out with a lot of designs, and the industrial product designing gaining lot of interest area, and people want to specialize in the PG program. Now, as of now, NID is giving this degree, but of course, it is now downloadable by online very soon. I mean, there was a discussion in the core group meeting with the NIFT and the NID very recently, where ex-executive director Dr. Koshi, now current member secretary and also director general of ATDC Government of India, he suggested, he was the NID executive director earlier, he suggested that ATDC will give the platform for online education on industrial designs, because they want to cater to 2,700 fashion and costume design colleges and institutions in the country to tie up with them and offer this online. AAC NIFT is also going to be one of the platform as a delivery partner with them. And what will get all these certifications, fair trade certification, BC, and all those things? I take you to Chennimalai. Chennimalai, all of us know, is the village, manufactures a lot of bed sheets, towels, and your home textile products. And many of us, buy, because they make a lot of recycled as well as cotton products. And this is how they manufacture. They get hand yarn from the spinning mill, dye it, they do bath dyeing, and they dry it outside your work shed. Because there is no enough space in the work shed, it is not a factory kind of thing. It's all small, medium enterprises doing, but the drying always happen on the roadside. The working also, work preparation also done on the roadside. They do tie and dye or your work preparation. And it's a very common to all of our side that if you go around Chennimalai, you can see this is the daily functioning of them. And within the home, backyard or front yard, the people, the housewives, homemakers, and the elders, they do know little bit of the pre-warping or the preparation for your weaving is done there. And weaving is done in a very, very poor lighting, unsophisticated or safety way, and very old looms. There are looms which are, older than 40 years, 50 years on the things. There is no modernization and technology upgradation is done. And very less inconvenience, that is very inconvenient way, but they are having a lot of artisan skills. And a very, very beautiful place, good atmosphere, near to Tirupur, near to Coimbatore, near to market, Erode market, Salem market. So domestically, it's well connected. They have very good market connections, especially for export. They are very quickly connected with Tirupur and Karur. And for industrial market, it is Coimbatore. For domestic market, they can connect with Erode. So within 60 kilometers, they have very good market opportunity, but they are not upgraded themselves. So that is how 5P did the research work last 4-5 years. They have done 2014, they formed a company, and continuous research, customer research and retail research. Now they decided to move on to sustainable textiles, where they get a group of advisors to be operating with them and promote the sustainable fiber, artisanal fabrics, and ethnic and heritage and handmade and handloom products, and not restricted to only home textiles but also for apparels and kids wear. So they have classic items and fashion trend items and very regular use kind of thing. And they built a very beautiful loom shed, which is now around more than 12,000 square feet area, and well lit, well maintained ventilation systems, and very convenient safety for the operator, loom operator. And a lot of product designing is happening. Both fashion and factory both are conscious about sustainability, and they have the co-creation atmosphere, ecosystems. So every worker there is no, discrimination, villagers or illiterate, something like that, nothing. Everybody wanting to come over there as an artisan, they will get employment and they will get opportunity in the farmland or in the spinning or in the weaving or in the fashion work. They have a very good work shed which is very eco-friendly and green building. So they build everything, two sheds they have, each is having 6,400 square feet, so roughly around 12,800 square feet work shed they have. And the work sheds are built with porothermal bricks and high ventilation rate is achieved inside. There is no humidity factor affecting the work person while doing the weaving. So well lit and well focused and well maintained factory, and they procure only sustainable organic natural cottons because the GOT certified products, and it is carefully taken to spinning, and they again spin in the factory where there is no polyester or poly elements are involved, and they do tub dyeing in a very safety way, and offer a lot of design variations in the shades designs, and in the yarn stage itself they give a lot of offerings. And the ball waffing they do within their additional way, and they get the healing done and the insertion done, so thereby every time they weave beautiful products, and they shift from the traditional motif to the new varieties of colors, new varieties of designs and motifs. So thereby they offer highly fashionable, highly demandable, but at the same time very safe products, and they do with a lot of jacquard and other activities. It has got more than 270 jacquard pegging, so that they can achieve very good designs on this. And they also use social media for marketing, so they loom fresh fashions going through social media to the customer hands. They have different weaves, derby weaves, jacquard weaves, and denim weaves to offer, and they closely work with a lot of designers from different institutions, and especially the regional designers. Students from regional area are given importance to come and work, and they always get a lot of portfolio. The industrial portfolio they get, and they prepare swatch books. The swatch books are actually e-books kind of thing. It's a flip book. They send across to different buyers, and on demand they get the product manufactured. And also they are part of the common objective movement. So where common objective involved, it is an inclusive factor where the workers and the supply chain management people and the logistics people, everybody involved. Thereby they have that co-creation system in order to get the products reaching the customers who are ready to pay for the design and also the concepts. And of course they have tie-up with RMIT of Australia, and also they have a tie-up with Singapore University for design, and also they are closely working with the Giles Broker New Zealand for design development. And every concepts and the creations are documented, and they make people happy about working with them, and bring cheers to all around. So it is a CSR projects, a village transformation, sustainability, and revival of handloom, revival of traditional heritage. All the concepts play into factor, and it is a woman-led company. Sri Bharati is the CEO of the company, and with a group of designers and product technicians and weavers. Around 100 people they work, but they make. They have a garment division that is operating in Erode. This production center is in Chennimalai, so they make very good garments, and they offer to world market. Of course, they participate in virtual as well as physical ramps and showcases. They have a brand called Nool by Hand as well, and they are certified people from fair trade. So all this apart, the manufacturing apart, there is a designing area where again we like to be very future oriented, and also sustainable oriented. As I was telling, Ram Sarin sir was mentioning that use of digital tool and artificial intelligence will reduce the sampling cost as well as save time, and at the same time, you will invest very less on sampling. That way, you are ensuring that your factory is sustainable factory. So there is a company called Fast Fashion Solutions in Bangalore. It is Fast Fashion Solutions, not fast fashion. It is Fast Fashion Solution company. They offer design as a service, and they make a product, it's a digital product design and a 3D catalog. And so far, what we are doing is, we always do 2D flat sketches, but whereas 3D catalog is very important in order to see the sampling, the parameters, and the digital tech pack they create, and of course they also follow post product approval, order approval. So pre approval they do digital catalog, product design, and tech pack, and once the order is given, the fourth point they will manage the workflow and also order tracking they will do. In the design as a service, they create mood board, storyboard, concept board, and style card, front and back, and design detailing everything. Once it is verified, then it is converted into 3D sampling. So it is rotational 360-degree. You can see how the garment looks on a body form or real model. Either way you can, and you can do different color rendering and fiber or fabric rendering. You can do. You can select everything, and obviously you can make this modeling look how it looks on your mannequin as well as your real body model. So any places it what it gives, what it achieves is actually, I mean, n number of designs can be achieved or n number of styles can be created, and it saves 75% of your sample investment, but 5 times faster than your normal sample production time. So I mean, you make 5 times more digital sampling than the normal course, but at the cost of 25% of normal spending. Of course, they whatever the style they created, they make a catalog with all the design and the product detailing and the product attributes, which is very much essential for the buyer to consider. And also, they make a digital tech pack, and once the product is approved in the approval sample stages, then they will make the real garment and send it across, and that is it. Once that fit sample is approved, then they will do the bill of material and the production planning and the production scheduling and sewing end line, cutting to end finishing. They will monitor, update everything by online. Thereby, the physical movement of factory QC or buyer QC, buyer merchandising, everything avoided. So sampling to approval, everything digitally managed with high control, real time, and also with a lot of evidences like you have. I mean, you can put your CCTV or your sensors or your cameras or your digital information communication system, ERP, anything annexed. Thereby, the buyer of his choice of communication, he can select, get the real time order management information, and he can track orders sitting in Europe and without sending somebody from Bangalore or Delhi for quality monitoring. They get assessed everything and they monitor, and this is the future. And these services are done as a monthly subscription way or every order to order basis, or in fact, I mean, you can have a tie-up, strategic tie-up. Either way, these companies. So this is one startup in the last 2 years functioning in Bangalore. Now it is going to be graduated. There is a very big organizations with people started appreciating, and we have a tie-up with Atal Incubation Centers, Nifty. All 35 plus incubators will be availing these services of sample development. And coming October 2021, there will be international virtual fair. The knitwear showcase will be there. So where all 35 people's virtual showcasing will be done, managed by Fast Fashion Solutions. So what is the takeaway of the sessions? What we discussed is indoor clothing, slow fashion, emergence of home textiles, diversification as a products, sustainable products and the global quality certifications like BCI, Ocatex, and your fair trade certifications and all. Domestic market demand conditions we have seen, opportunity for micro entrepreneurship, cost savings in innovations, use of information technology, and artificial intelligence or digital design development, internet for market and global supply chain connectivity. So all put together is the takeaway of the sessions. And we are working, genuinely on this with the help of AC Nifty, 5P and NDT of Bangalore and the KSR for some biological interventions on this, natural products, banana, turmeric, palm leaf, dark nut and all. So this is the way forward. What we understood, actually captured from the companies where I associate, and that is what I put across as a title: Fashion Now and Future. So there will be a tomorrow assured for all of us. Be assured, be confident. There is always a future for all of us, and that's what I want to say. Thank you for your valuable time and listening. Okay, and you can keep another 5 minutes for your feedback or your discussions. And after 5 minutes, I request all of you maybe. You can give your feedback to your HOD or your organizers. So I will collect it later and I'll get it done. Okay. Thank you very much. Mr. Satya.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you. And can you share the feedback from the people after they did? Once they send the link, reply to the link, can you share the summary of it? Huh?
Okay, sir. I have shared the link now in the chat box. So
Okay.
after I have segregated all the things, and I will
once,
share it with you.
You can give the link to me also, or you can collect it and send it across. So thanks to all of you for this good session, and I thank all the audience for the passions hearing. Right.
Okay, sir. On the behalf of the management and the student and from the department, I extend my sincere thank you for the Somasundram sir. Sir, your speech was very informative, and it will help the students to decide the future. That means they can forecast their designing things and all, sir.
Okay.
And I hope that it will be very useful for the students as well as for all the participants.
Okay.
And we will arrange one more session in the meanwhile, so that we can have lots of discussion among the students, sir.
Right,
thank
sir.
you once again, sir.
Sure, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you. So with that note, I thank the management, admin, and your department and all the participants of this seminar, or rather webinar, I can say, for having spend the time and listen to me, and look forward to associate in future. Thank you very much. I take leave. Thank you very much. Bye.